Howdy friends and family, I'm back with week 5, day 5, and we are talking about knowing God in the series I'm doing with Christ Memorial Lutheran Church. And this week we are talking about how God is Lord. And we've been really looking at that relationship between us and God as a servant and his master. And we talked in my last video about as servants, we are to obey God, and how this is not something that is needed for our salvation, but it is a desire that believers have. And today I want to look a little bit more into the master side of things. And on the first video this week, I talked about how a master is the one who is in charge of asking the servants to do things, but then he also will provide and care for the servant. And so today I want to talk about how we can trust God to do this. We can trust God to provide a way to do any task that he will ask of us. So we're going to look at an example from the Bible. We're going to look at Exodus 4:10 through 12. And it says, Moses said to the Lord, "O Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue." The Lord said to him, "Who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or mute? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say." In this example, Moses is about to go talk to Pharaoh and the Israelites and tell them God has come to set them free, and then to command Pharaoh to let God's people go. And Moses is saying, God, this thing you're asking me to do, there's no way I can do it. I don't speak well. But God is saying that he will provide a way for Moses to do the task that God has laid out for him. And so this is just one example of where God takes someone who doesn't feel or maybe even look equipped for a task and asks them to do it anyway, because God says, I will provide a way for you to do it. And that is God's role as master in our relationship between him and us as the servant and the master. It is his job to give us the task and then make sure we have a way to do it. And this is an example of God actually doing that. And so Psalm 20 verse 7 says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord." We are able to trust in the name of the Lord because we know he will keep and fulfill his role as master. Not only does he lay out the task before us, but he makes sure that we are able to complete the task. He walks with us through the task, makes sure that we can complete it. And so that's what I want us to think about today, is trusting God as Lord. We've talked about what it looks like for us to obey him as Lord, but I want you to also trust him to provide that way for you to complete the task, because he will provide that way. So that's what I call you to do this week, is to trust him, and then to be able to say what Isaiah did when God was looking for a servant and say, "Here I am, send me." If you are memorizing Romans 6:23, this is your reminder to do that. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to my YouTube. You can also find them on my Facebook and Christ Memorial's Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.